Now, just before I get started, I just want to make it clear. Uh, I just got through watching a short video uh, about Jason Aldean and his stance as country singer. I'm sure a lot of people feel the same way. Uh, because I've said it on videos before, but this is specifically for this. I'm saying that we all should have a choice whether we want to take any kind of vaccine, especially when it concerns this COVID 19 junk. We're not saying it's not here. We're just saying, look, you know, uh, for example, flu shot, I didn't take one till I was 13, 14 years old, somewhere through there. And the only reason I take one to this very day is because, yes, it's been proven by study after study after study, and it's had decades of tests run on it, and every time it comes back with the most complete, accurate results that 9 times out of 10 it helps you. Now, there are a few people that, again, it may do more harm and it may actually hurt, like I said, someone, but that's very few. Now, for those that know, the flu vaccine is the least side effect you can get is the sore arm, which I've always got, but it goes away in a day or two. And this COVID mess that's been out for two years now, getting close to that, it's because everybody gets in an uproar, gets in a panic because, you've got people on all these news networks trying to disrupt our life, tell us we can't hang around people, that we can't be out and about, we can't enjoy ourselves. And like I said, a lot of people in a lot of other places have it, but we live out here in Decatur, Tennessee, and I'm not saying that no kids doesn't have it, and I'm not saying nobody doesn't have it, but but and to be honest with you, I'm not really bothered to check out as to. I've got some ideas of how it got here, and I have not watched this in a long time, so I'm going based on what I would think would cause a virus. So that would be the simplest of things, but not keeping yourself clean, not making sure your kids are what is it? Oh, your kids are not, doing the things they should do. I mean, it's like I said there for decades, for a long, long time, you seen people going to stores and churches and things and all these public places, whether they need to or not, they always make an excuse for getting out because they feel like, for some reason, a spirit's going to come down here and start all of a sudden bossing people around. The guy's not even here. And if he were here, y'all would be probably wanting to hide after. So I know I would. I couldn't stand this guy doing this. And it sounds like somebody wanting to, and some of the things that he's done, or at least they said that he done, is not right. So I'm not a big God person. I don't fear him. I know if he were down here, I know what would happen. And he'd get the same treatment he got all them thousands of years ago. He tried to boss people around, tell them what to do, and all this stuff, and people got tired of that shit, you know? And that's why God's not respected. He's not feared by some people. Some people puts that on their profiles, and you see it on sites, and you see how that's, you know. So I do, in a way, lose respect for some of that, you know, because it sounds like something that's just too bossy, too controlling. Who wants to be around this guy 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, never get no peace? And him probably sleeping in the bed with you, looking at you naked and everything else. I can just see myself right now. If I couldn't go out and have my peace with some other people, and wonder if he's supposed to be your heavenly father, and all that, well, he could learn to leave some of these people alone. You know, he go do whatever he wants to do. I tell you right now, these people, you know, had different views, but if his way was the only way, there wouldn't be all these other religions out here. If he was supposed to be right, I think he's an egomaniac. Sound like somebody just, for some reason, he thinks he ought to get credit for everything, and leaves poor old Mary hanging out in the weeds. You don't never hear nothing about her. She's the one responsible for that asshole being here in the first place. And then people killed him about after 30-something years. I'm surprised it took him that long.
Because he did something wrong.
Because he, you know, if it were me, I'd probably done it a lot sooner. I mean, my God. This guy, you know, and like I said, he wants to get credit for creating a woman. A woman had to create him. They were there long before. He didn't create a woman. A woman had to have had him before, you know. I mean, it's common knowledge, people. And you just got to think about it. It's just like viruses and stuff we're talking about. I didn't mean to get off subject. But, you know, Jason Aldean, the country singer, and anybody else that wants to take a stand, we need to all get in line and take a stand. Because, like I said, yeah, the ones that's had it, I could understand them going to the doctors and saying, man, I want to try this out. And I know there's a lot of people that took the risk, that were health professionals and all that. And you said, well, they didn't get sick. They didn't do this or that or whatever. Well, that's up to them. But I'm telling you, as my dad would be a witness to this, I'm guaranteeing you he would have probably never took that vaccine. He never took the flu vaccine. Now, I don't know whether he did when he lived with Granny, but I can tell you when he was of an age and of an adult, when he moved out completely, he never went to a doctor or nothing. He didn't believe in taking medicines. So, you know, I took a few because I've had to and certain things, but, you know, I'd be interested in seeing my dad take his fight on. Because I know there has to be more out here besides me, besides my wife. I mean, it's bad enough.
I don't want to wear
you get insulted. Like I said, I don't mind putting on a mask to shut people up at times that has people up over them. You know, like Murray and them have people up over them.
Oh, I can do for them.
Begging them. Well, I'm trying to get it out, sweetie. But yeah, I think it's just like a lot of these movements, just like a lot of these biased holidays, birthdays, made up, you know, especially Martin Luther King Jr. and all that bull. You know, they got all the blacks thinking that all the white people and all the mixed race people hate blacks for some reason. And to be honest with you, laying a racist bone in my body, I don't care about the color. I don't care about what religion you believe in, because somebody believes in something. And so, like I said, it's one of them things to where you just have to pick one, stick with it, whatever it is. Because honestly, I don't see anything. Yeah, your spirit's gonna go wherever your spirit wants to go. But you only get to live one time in this body of life, and there's no sense in having this spiritual crap crammed up people's butts and having us be miserable as it is. You know, it's I'm not saying that God didn't come out here and create some of this stuff. I ain't saying that it, you know, like I said, probably the most telling chapter of the Bible that I've read is Genesis. Like I said, that was probably the most accurate account of what, if he did anything, that's as close as I'd get to believe. Because again, he doesn't tell what kind of music he likes. He don't tell what kind of, you know, what does he do during his spare time? What does he do when he's, you know, if he was more like us and said, hey, this is me, this is what I did, and gave more accurate account of events and special, you know, details. You know, and some people say, you know, that really believes it's hot garbage. They'll say, well, he's different. He wants to wait until you're up there in heaven. Well, when you're up there in heaven, you don't get to speak, you don't get to talk. You don't get this life that we have here. I don't know what kind of, you know, I don't know who wrote that book. I don't know who, you know, there's no credits. You know, like I said, it's the most confusing thing because of wise. And you say, what? Have you ever been to church? Yes, I have. Been to several. But like I said, they complain about their butt hurting. They want to go eat. Even most pastors don't even want to stand there and preach this mess. They're clock watching. I've watched them do it. And they'll read 2 or 3 scriptures. It's almost like they don't believe this stuff either. Like I said, at least not enough to take the time out that it would take for you to learn a lot of this stuff. And like I said, my wife's seen it. I know, you know, a lot of people in churches will take, you know, stuff and go and, you know, take these markers or pens or whatever it might be. You know what I'm saying? These people ain't stupid. They go in there knowing that they're going to go over the same 20 or 30 verses in every, you know, thing known to mankind. And they're not, and it's the same junk. They like to sit there, and most of these that I've seen like to sit there and talk about their week, like talk about their kids, their family. They like to put stories in. It could be something off TV. You know, it's like I said, it's you know, and I just feel like if we have the freedoms to choose, and we're supposed to have the rights to choose things as Americans are. I'm not supposed to be allowed to. That's why everybody else in all these other countries get jealous. Because we get to do things that they don't normally get to do because their people or their government's people doesn't allow them, for some reason or another, all the same rights. Just like, you know, we do over here. But, you know, I mean, that's why we've been in so many wars. And we've lost many people that didn't deserve to be killed in these wars or nothing else. But, you know, you got to have all this stuff because there's a bunch of crazies out there. You know? So, but like I was saying, you know, the virus stuff is as real as it gets. But the problem stemmed from Donald Trump and his You know, as I call him, Trump fuck. His mind was not right. His whole outlook on this thing, he was 3 or 4 months behind. Supposedly he was going, from what I've heard from somebody, he was going with what one person told him in the White House or whatever, whoever it was reached out to him. Oh my God, come on. You know, the United States should have shut down all the borders. They should have put this thing all the way back in 2019. And that's why it's called COVID-19. It's a hit in 2019, as early as 2019. Later on that year, when everybody was having all these gatherings, that's what started the whole thing, because everybody traveling, eating all that nasty food, probably like I said, probably got some form of sickness or something from a poisonous food or something, or some say it's an airborne virus. Well, I don't know what it is, but I can tell you, I quarantine all the time. I stay home all the time, except for when I have to get out myself, or my wife has to get out. So it's nothing new to me. I don't have a whole lot of people. But if you live in fear of a virus, and if it was going to get you, let it get you is the way I look at it. Go out having fun. Go out. If it was your last 24 hours on this planet, if you knew you had 24 hours, would you be scared of a virus, or would you just go out and say, hey, I'm going to go out and have fun. I'm going to go out and enjoy myself. Do all the things I can do in 24 hours. Because like I said, we can do one of two things. We can either run and get scared, take a risk on a COVID shot that's not been proven to be effective in all people. I don't even know. I haven't. That's why. But I don't watch the news that much. I haven't watched it in a long time because this stuff dominates everyday TV. The president does something and that dominates 80-90% of the news you hear. And I just don't feel like listening to all this stuff being repeated over and over and over again. But I'm a firm believer that, people, what is it?
No.
What are you doing, baby? Well, here, go make candy. Let's see. Here, well, because I had $1 in there, and I was trying to, hold on a minute. Well, I'm trying to make me $1.
No.
So I have, is this all of it?
Yeah.
Here, that ain't count. There's 2. Let me see if I get any more. There's 75. Still ain't that quarter. Okay. 75. Here, you take him.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
Wait. Let's see. Hold on. 75. 85. 95. Well, hold on. I need at least one because that'll have to make $1.
It's a dumb thing you love your kid.
I don't need that. There's $1.
There's $1.
So there's.
There's $1.
I just.
No.
Now, there you go. There's. What would be left?
Okay. That is enough.
As long as we got $1.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I mean, but and some people say, well, there's people out there that's lost loved ones, and not like I said, I feel sorry for them, but what am I going to do? And at the same time, I don't even know any of these people. I don't know if they were good people, bad people, how they treated people out through life, but all of a sudden they come down with the virus and we don't know. Like I said, I didn't travel very much, but I don't think anybody should, perish. Just, I think a lot of people, have just, like I said, they've worn out their welcome as far as doing all this unnecessary business on the roads, keeping the roads hot. And if you had it, like I said, if somebody worked, was trying to make a living, you can't hold them responsible. I mean, they got to go make a living. But, the problem is down to the parents and down to the kids not taking care of themselves, and the few adults that's not doing it. But if we'd been doing all the things that we would have been doing, and everybody, not including my wife or me really, because like I said, we put our seatbelts on and everything else when it comes to stuff like that. You don't even have to tell us twice. Every time I go to the bathroom, I got a habit to go wash my hands of some kind. Usually I put that clear stuff on. But
Sanitizer.
hand sanitizer. But anyway, sometimes I use soap, sometimes I just use it sanitizer stuff. But like I said, it's it's y'all's call. It's whatever, I don't care if they mandated everybody had to have it. It's a choice. They can't shut everything down just because some people don't want to take it. They know they're not sick. They know they don't have this. My wife mistakenly got kind of, down there in one of her visits down there at that clinic, and they tested her. So I know if she's good, I'm good, because it's the only person she's been around.
They said I was negative.
So there you go. So does people that know they are clean and don't have it, do we need to waste our time and waste a shot that could be for somebody else that desperately needs it?
Oh, no.
I'm all for, respecting, the guidelines as far as going and certain places when I don't have to go, but ever so often to a doctor or something. I mean, it's obviously been mandated by, people higher up. I mean, we just didn't get here by no mistake. We knew this was going to happen. I mean, obviously, a lot of people ignored it. A lot of people went out there and just started, eating all this bad food or whatever started this mess. Like I said, I've not watched it in so long, but I have my ideas of how it got started. And it's a very good possibility that due to the people not keeping themselves cleaned and everything else, because when this stuff was known about, it was saying, wash your hands and make sure you do this and do that. Like all the stuff we'd been taught when we was a kid and all the stuff that everybody knows to do. But yeah, all the kids and all the parents and all the people they hang around, coughing, hooping all over everybody. Churches, they came in there half dead sick just because they afraid God's, I reckon, gone. His spirit's going to just come down here shoot us all with a lightning bolt or some shit like that or something ungodly. Just gonna. I've cursed. I've done everything known to mankind. If he was gonna strike anybody down, he done struck me down. Because I tell you, I just do not have the patience for all this bullshit that's tied up in everybody's head. I mean, I'm not saying he didn't create the earth and he didn't have something to do with creating us, but at the same time, I don't want to be up his ass all day. I don't want to hear the news going on about this 24/7. I don't believe that you should have to sit there and be about brain dead listening to these people. I wonder how these people gets on CNN and all these other news networks. I wonder how they even fucking sleep. I guarantee you they don't get much sleep at night. I don't even know what they get paid, but it probably ain't worth it. I know they better be paying me lots of money to sit there and talk like these people do. I mean, this would be insane. I mean, it's not worth even getting a job no more. It's not worth really doing anything. I mean, I can understand some people, because of their age, because of their issues, they may want to do this. And I'm all for certain, especially, I'll tell you what I would be for is definitely the school kids getting vaccinated, because the kids are the most germiest of all. I mean, let's face it, that they act like kids. They put their hands somewhere they ain't supposed to be, down their diapers and everything else, and all over. You could make a case for kids, because they get into everything and anything, whether it's food on the table, whether it's laying in the floor, and God knows what could be down there in the floor. But, everything. So kids are probably that, and the elderly folks that are up higher in age are more at risk to have viruses to carry to other people. That's how a large majority of these viruses get started, is due to those kinds of crowds. Because like I said, they go somewhere when they're sick, they don't cover up. Now it's like Jim Cornette said, it's like you can't get enough. People now covering up so much, and now they hardly won't talk to you. Well, I don't know why all of a sudden it changed, but I'm like I said, for people that knows for a fact they don't need it, doesn't have to go with it. It's our choice. Like I said, I know what a flu is. I've had it, but I will not take somebody else's COVID shot when I don't need it. I want it to go to somebody who definitely needs it. And I have all respect in the world for those that say, hey, my people had it, my people got it, and some of them's gone, some of them's dead. Like I said, I don't know what to say, but I feel sorry for some of those people, because like I said, a lot of them was probably good people. A lot of them was probably just got around the wrong crowds. And even if you told them not to get around the crowd, then if they survived, they probably getting around them now, doing the same thing that got them in trouble to start with. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely on these people wanting kids to get it in schools or before they start schools, because like I said, I could remember, I'm sure my wife does too, and you had to have so many of these shots, booster shot and different things before you got in school. Well, this would be a perfect thing to add, so that way it would keep everybody from getting it. All the people, is like I said, between the kids and the older folks that can get sick and their immune system's not as strong and can't fight off everything like ours can. You know, they're up in age, and that makes sense for the older folks to be more cautious, and the kids as well. I mean, the kids, their immune systems are about like a an elderly person, and they can't fight everything off. They're not mature yet, you know. So that makes a lot of sense, and that's why I say before anybody says anything, makes a rude comment, or puts a dislike on the video, make sure you listen to the video. Don't just watch 2 or 3 minutes of it and then say something silly or whatever. Because, like I said, there's two sides to every story, and all the while, you know, I can understand.
So good.
Oh, I can understand, people's argument for getting it. I can also understand where there's people coming from and saying, that they cannot hold a gun to our head and make us take these shots. It's just not possible. And like I said, if that were possible, they'd have done been doing that the first day they had one of these vaccines available. But I do see the need to make the older folks, the ones that's at high risk, take it, and the kids are at high risk, and that's the crowds we need to target for sure. Now, if there is some reason or another, a person of age like me or my wife or in their 20s or 30s has a weakened immune system, yeah, I would think they need to go out there, and I'm sure they are. They're going out there to get it. But I'm not going to take somebody's COVID shot that needs it. And I'm not going to.
I'd rather donate my blood to someone.
And I'd rather let somebody else come in there that's at high risk and it needs that, get it before I do. So, or my wife or anybody, because like I said, we can do two things. One, we could either be scared and not live our life like we do, or we can take a stand in a good way, and in a correct way, in a nice way, say, look, we need to get this message out there and get folks steered in the right direction. I think they're starting to get there with, the rules that they're going to mandate starting in 2022. I think that's a nice little boost right there. I think that'll pretty well take care of the problem now if you can just get all the elderly folks to stay home when they're sick, from churches, work, or anything else. Kids, stay home when you're sick. Simple. Take some medicine. Go to the doctor. That's the thing. Just a few years ago when I was working in Hardee's, I had bronchitis like 3 times in a close proximity, close together. I've never been sick that much. But it was just my turn, I guess. And so I went to the doctor to make sure, see what I had, and I had bronchitis. And so like I said, unless I had a fever, they said I could come into work. So, I think it should be changed. I think anybody that's sick, even if they had a cold, I'd be a little bit wary of letting them in there, because you pick up a germ anywhere at a restaurant or any place, a store or anything. I mean, you can do all this stuff and have all the cleaning products, but there's always going to be somebody that goes behind there and puts a germ on there, and germs you can't see without that special black light. But, I'm just raising a point here that I honestly see both sides. But I see the sides that need the vaccine shots more so than us young adults, and I see the ones that may have a weakened immune system falls in that category with kids and elderly folks. But if you don't have a weakened immune system and your immune system is able to fight like ours is, then I don't see any point in getting a shot that is likely to do more harm to you than good. And especially if it doesn't do any harm, if it still doesn't do any harm to you, then there's still no need to get it, because then you've just gotten a shot. You've wasted a shot on somebody that didn't need it. And so, like I said, it's just, sometimes my throat, like I said, sometimes my throat gets dry and I have a cough once in a while. For me having to chew everybody out and having to get right with somebody, sometimes my voice, my throat will have that, but that's all it is. So, like I said, if, us people, we can't, like I said, the United States, the laws protect us and the stuff like that. There's no way that all these doctors are going to convince 100% of the American population to go and get vaccinated. It just ain't gonna happen. I don't care who don't like it, but this is the truth. It's common sense. But I'm gonna see if my wife wants to say anything. Do you want to say something? Did you want to talk? Okay. But I just wanted to put out this small video. I don't think anybody's ever going to come on here and chat, but I just wanted to kind of put something out there and make it, from my point of view, and to all those who see things my way. Because, like I said, if somebody knowingly had that and they were to be so sick as a dog, they wouldn't come around you. And I'd understand nobody meeting anybody or taking chances, but that's why I said we had some up here 9 months ago that said some of her people had gotten it when it first come out, but they got over it and they didn't have anything, and we was around them. That's the only people we were around that normally wouldn't have been around, but we never got sick or anything. Like I said, you can do one or two things. You can live your life in fear, or you can be like me and my wife and know that you don't have it, and don't waste these shots. Give them to people that needs them, people that can use them, and I back a peaceful solution to this problem. I don't. It's not right for people to take their anger out and do something stupid, But these people are just, they're unfortunately so wrapped up in everything. Of course, I could see older folks getting on there and saying, "Man, the easiest way to get rid of this problem is if everybody gets vaccinated." Well, it's like the flu vaccine's not 100%, neither is this. And nothing ever is. So you still, whether you take the shot or whether you don't, you still can be at risk for things to go wrong. You can get, there used to be warning papers come with the flu vaccine, but I knew I was okay once I took it the first time and nothing ever happened to me. But, the vaccine it could put you at risk. And then what if you're one of those few people that never took it, but then all of a sudden took it, and then it did something to you or killed you? Then how would you feel? Then you'd be saying, "Man, if they hadn't took that shot, I'd still have so-and-so here, or I'd still have." So you can have it both ways. And even though they try to tell you the chances of that happening are slim, you might ought to think about especially, if you're like me or my wife or something and you're pretty healthy and you don't have hardly any issues of being around anybody and don't socialize that much, if you do pretty much what we do because we really don't have anybody we're around anyway, then, you know, I don't see no reason in wasting a shot on anybody, that don't need it. But definitely for, like I say, definitely for the kids and the elderly people getting it because those are the two targets that really, if all of them got it done, got the vaccine shot, you definitely make, if you think about it, you make the problem go away by simply addressing those two age groups right there. I don't know how soon you can give it to a young child, but I would think
12.
You could probably give it to them. I think for the flu shot, if I remember right, you could be 3 or 4 years old, something like that. I know it was definitely before you could go to school, because like I said, you got your booster and you got, but you're eligible to take it. I know at a pretty young age, but you couldn't just give it to them. I wouldn't think right away, because even the flu shot, it ain't. But like I said, so there's still going to be some people, and if you're a young baby, just a few years old or months old, you can't just give it to a baby. So there's still going to be people out there, and some people may have a reaction to it. Like I said, there's some people that you just won't be able to give it to. So, there's two sides to each story. So, as much as like I said, I want to agree with everything that everybody's saying about it, I also want to make the case for the people that shouldn't go out there and waste their time and get in line and get a shot that they know they don't need. Because, like I said, you got to have trust in the people that you know and the people that you're around. I know if they had this, they wouldn't be around. And some people might say, well, they don't know if they have it or not because they sneeze and cough. And I've seen that. I have seen that side of these signs out here. Oh, if you sneeze, cough, if you do this or that, Lord have mercy, you can't do nothing. Don't seem like now, and that's crazy. Of course, if you sneeze, cough, or whatever, that's normal symptoms. It could be any thing from a small cold to, who knows? But I know it's not no COVID-19 stuff. I know if you had this, it'd be like the flu. You'd be down in the bed. You'd be hurting. You might be chilling, or you might have a fever. Who knows what happened to you? But I can tell you for a fact that we need to be careful at how we go about addressing this, and not trying to run people away with too much news. Like I said, the young kids definitely need it. I would be on board with that, and the elderly people, the adults that are over the age of somewhere between 50s to 60s. Somebody that their immune system wouldn't be able to fight anything off. Because even like I said, a small cold has killed people before. Especially when you're in your later years. The simplest thing can get you. But I just don't see no point in going through and getting tested and getting vaccinated for something that you don't have. And like I said, I'm for people, on both ends, but in certain areas, certain ways. Don't filter your head with all this nonsense on TV and on the news. But I also wanted to say we still have our unicorn offer out there and on the table. If any lady would like to uh, be on here and just happen to run across, that's what we're kind of hoping for. We've got playlists though of all kinds of other things, sports, movies, music. So just check it out. Subscribe to our channel. It's got my name, but me and my wife both share it. So we come out here once or twice today. We're in Decatur, Tennessee, by the way. So it's not a big town. It don't have a big population. We've got a little over 1,600 people as of the 2020 census thing. So, but yeah, we are in good health, and there's nothing wrong with us. So we do take a flu shot, like I said, every year though. And she got hers today. I'm gonna try to go get mine probably Thursday or something, and whatnot. And then we'll just be sitting here waiting, seeing what happens. Maybe all this stuff once the young kids get it, and once maybe by next year this thing will be over with, and we can put it away. Maybe we won't have to wear masks if everybody cleans up and does what they need to do and quit eating all that, nasty food. Check your food real good if you go overseas. That's all I can tell you. People might not need to be so sure of themselves going in churches and places. If you don't need to go, don't go. So again, just really try to apply this as best as you can, and then don't take anything for granted that you hear on the news. Only watch what you need to, and then make whatever you need to make. As far as a decision, make a good one. Make a good, reasonable decision. That is best for whatever people you hang around, and like I said, but I just want to kind of come out here and tell this, because I seen a video out here where Jason Aldean was on there giving his opinion, and like I said, I agree with him, and also, I agree with most of what's going to be done on the kids' end from now on. I just think from now on we need to get better intelligence. There's no reason why we shouldn't be getting better intelligence. Instead of just listening to one person, get 4 or 5's opinion. Get some other people's opinions. Call around and get. There's no reason for Trump to have been this lazy. He should have done what he knew was right. He cost himself the election, and also by antagonizing people to tax the White House or any form of government building is ridiculous by his remarks. And then not only that, his reaction to this virus thing when he was putting us 3 or 4 months behind on purpose. He's got what you call a loose lip, and he runs his mouth, and he don't think very well, and he's one of them people. He don't care about anything except for himself and a few people that he might be around on a daily basis, which probably some of his kids or his wife or something. But like I said, I'm not saying that Biden's the best president either. I ain't been keeping up with it, but no president is, so that's why I said I don't really like news or politics. But I was just going to put this out here as a way to help people out and decide for themselves, and hopefully raise awareness to both sides of the argument, not just one side, and not for the ones that just want to live in fear and panic. I mean, we're all going to die. We're all going to face that, but we shouldn't live in fear over something that doesn't instantly kill us and isn't, something likely to happen to us. If it happens, it happens. And of course, and if it happens to you, you probably will be more likely willing to take those shots. Like I said, there's no sense in doing this, and hopefully this will quieten some of the noise down. But like I said, it just depends on the people. And like I said, if we're ever to move past it, I hope this never happens again. Like I said, if we follow through and everybody follows through with the right things and everything, then we wouldn't have to worry about it. It's the same thing with cigarettes, same thing with beer, same thing with drugs. We know better. Me and my wife don't do it, but at the same time, a lot of people make excuses for doing that, so that's why we still have a problem. That's why a lot of people get killed, why a lot of people can't be trusted, because they're no good, they're no use. It wasn't worth the labor pain and all that stuff a woman went through to have a kid if they ain't no good. They can't teach good values and good things to be a role model to kids. That's a problem we gotta stop. All these smoking commercials and all these don't drink and don't drive commercials do no good. It just makes people want to keep doing stuff they know that the law doesn't want them to do. If they didn't advertise it and put it out there, people ought to know that it's bad. They're not stupid. They know it's bad and they don't care. So the government, in a sense, is wasting time and money on something that they know ain't going to cure the problem. Because the government and people are just as guilty as anything for the reason that we're, going through what we're going through. Like I said, I'd love to see people starve without a beer and without a drug to go out there to try to sell, or somebody out there asking for cards or money, trying to prostitute themselves for sex or some kind of craziness like that. These people are not dumb. They just choose to play dumb, and that's why they get treated so bad. That's why they're always looked down on. There's no counselor, there's no piece of paper, there's no nothing going to help them if they can't help themselves. There's no person in the world that could help these people. You got to have the will to help yourself, first and foremost. If you ever want respect for recovering from something like that you knew was a mistake, admit to it. Take ownership of it. Take responsibility. Own up to it. Don't make excuses. Don't sit there and say, oh, it's because I've been through this or that or whatever. If you know it's wrong, like my wife said, she did some that, drunk a little bit, but she knew she willed herself to stop. She didn't need nothing else. Some people just don't want it, no matter what you do. It's up to the person on it. If the person wants respect and wants to be looked at as a role model for young adults and young kids, the only way to stop this stuff is to admit that you was the problem. Nobody else is to blame but yourself. Now you say, well, Derek, what if some of the people did it? Well, if they were the problem, then I say, if you didn't ever get taught right from wrong as a kid, then I guess you might have a small argument there. But at the same time, the stuff don't taste good. All it is something that gives you a buzz for a short little time, and then you're all strung out, and then you go back to being as miserable as fuck. So in the end, that short little buzz or the short little, kind of like if you put laughing gas on somebody and you're, at the dentist office and they put that laughing gas on you, it's only temporary, people. It's not going to carry you forever. It's not going to make you feel invincible forever. Eventually, you're going to wind up feeling a lot worse if you don't stop whatever it is you're doing that you know is hurting your body and hurting other people. Because then other people, get around this stuff. We had somebody like that not long ago up here, and you just couldn't talk to that person at all. And that's why I said I hope me and my wife never see another person act like that and act out like that ever again. Because we would rather be, a help to somebody, not them coming up in here and hindering us and telling us we don't know what we're talking about and all this. We've been through a lot, and by the way, it's just however you want. If you want respect, you'll respect us for how we look at things, and you'll watch the whole video and you'll learn. But if you backtalk us and stuff, of course you're gonna get whatever's coming your way, a good talking to, or me and my wife may have to boot you out. But we don't want to do that. We want to find somebody that's good and knows how to be a good listener and wants the same things that we do and doesn't find anything wrong with our offer, and it has either dreamed of it or has had thoughts of it, maybe prayed about it, or who knows what you did. But if you're out there and listening to this video, it's also, I thought, well, I'm going to go at least an hour. Yeah, got Eric Bischoff time, 3 minutes. So I'm going to make it another 3 minutes, so at least we can go a whole hour. We don't like long. But yeah, so just kind of wanted to get my thoughts out there on it. And, because I've seen something kind of positive that hit home. And like I said, some people may or may not like it. I'd say there'd be more people may not like this, but that's all right. But, there just needs to be a restructuring. And I'd like to see these people take this video, take it up there, at least let them listen to stuff about the virus portion of the thing. And like I said, you could restructure some of these people's brains and have a different respect and a different perspective on everything, and respect for those that don't want to get the shot, because we don't want to waste it. But yeah, fixing to maybe get off here, find me a snack or something here. Or I think my wife's getting hungry again. She likes her cheesecake, don't you? Oh man, can you get it open? So probably cause it's cold. Yeah, but we're probably fixing a snack here, but I'm gonna make a playlist and put this into the stuff on if I have a topic like this that mainly dominates the subject of the video, I'm gonna put it in like a news category, or my thoughts on some topics, or I'll come up with something. But anyway, hope all of our subscribers are having a good day. Hopefully we'll get some more, at least get a few more. I'll try to check up on some stuff later. May put some more stuff out here. But we'll probably call this a night tonight. Be the last video that we make for today. We'll wait till sometime tomorrow and make another one. But unless somebody comes on here in the next 30 seconds, I'm gonna call this one a night. So anyway, we'll talk to you later on. Let's see. Oh, Gracie. Yeah. There's old Gracie. We'll get her in the video. There you go. Sunshine. There we go.